Students, I will give the introduction of coordinate geometry, which is required for defining the trigonometric functions. And in coordinate geometry, we take two lines. One is horizontal line, which is called as x-axis, and a vertical line, which is called as y-axis. The point of intersection of these two lines is called as origin. And from this point of intersection, if you take 1 unit distance right side of it and we name it as 1, 2 unit distance from origin we name it as 2, 3 unit distance we call it as 3, and so on. And from this origin, 1 unit distance left side is marked as -1, 2 unit distance from origin marked as -2, and so on. And from the point origin, if you take a 1 unit distance and above the x-axis it is named as 1, 2 unit distance is named as 2, and 3 unit distance as 3, and so on. From origin, below x-axis 1 unit distance is marked as -1, 2 unit distance as -2, 3 unit distance as -3, and so on. And thus these two lines, x-axis and y-axis, will divide this plane, coordinate plane, into 4 equal parts. The part that is right top, that is this part, is called as first quadrant, and left top is called as second quadrant, left bottom is called as third quadrant, and right bottom is called as fourth quadrant. Now, if you take any point in this plane, we will have the pair of real number corresponding to it. And just let us take a point, and if you take a point A here, we can get a pair of real number corresponding to this point A. You have to draw a perpendicular from this point to x-axis, and it will meet the x-axis at the particular point, and for corresponding to this point we will have a real number, that is 5. And similarly, you have to draw perpendicular from A to y-axis. It will meet the y-axis at a particular point, and corresponding to that point we will have a real number, and that is 1. Thus, we will have a pair of real number corresponding to the point A, that is 5 and 1. This 5 is called as x coordinate or abscissa, and 1 is called as y coordinate or ordinate of this point. And that is represented like this. You have to represent the point by a ordered pair of real number. You have to represent the point by an arc bracket separated by comma. The real values should be separated by comma, and point should be always represented like this. And if you take the point F, you can tell the coordinate of the point F, and corresponding to F you will have the two real numbers. First you have to get the x, that is you have to draw perpendicular from F to x-axis, and you will get a real number -1. You have to draw perpendicular from F to y-axis, and that number is 1. Thus we will have the pair of real numbers -1, 1. And similarly, if you take a point, you can get the pair of real numbers like this. If you take the point J, you can tell the coordinate of J. X coordinate is -1 and y coordinate is 0. See here, x coordinate is -1 and y coordinate is 0. If you take the point C, and the coordinate of the point C is x coordinate is -4 and y coordinate is -1. X coordinate is -4 and y coordinate is -1. Thus, corresponding to every point we will have the pair of real numbers. And moreover, if you take a point in the first quadrant, anywhere in the first quadrant, you will have the x coordinate and y coordinate both are positive. If you come to the second quadrant, the x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive. If you reach the third quadrant, both x and y coordinate are negative, and in fourth quadrant, x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative. Students, we already studied angle in previous lesson. Here, angle is generated by rotation of a ray about a fixed point. Now, with reference to the coordinate axis, positive x-axis should be the initial ray with the origin as the fixed point. And if you rotate the ray in the anti-clockwise direction, angle will be taken as positive. If the rotation in clockwise direction, then angle is negative. Now this is the initial ray, and if you rotate this ray in the anti-clockwise direction, angle will be positive, and if you reach here, and it will be 90 degree, and if you further rotate it, and it will be increase, and if you rotate till this, it's equal to 180 degree or pi radian, and if you rotate further, you will have 270 degree or 3 pi by 2, and if further you can rotate and you can do one complete rotation, and it will be equal to 360 degree. And it is possible to rotate further and angle still increases, and it is more than 360 degree, and after completion of one rotation it is possible to rotate like this, and two complete rotation means 720 degree, and so on. And if you rotate in the clockwise direction like this from the initial ray, if it's this is the initial ray, and if you rotate in the clockwise direction, and the angle will be negative, and this is minus 90 degree, and if you can further rotate it, and this is equal to minus 180 degree, and this is minus 270 degree. One complete rotation in the clockwise makes an angle of minus 360 degree.